still at the 53rd edition of the Cairo International Book Fair, and our guest today is Mr. Omar Ibrahim, and he is a translator born in Alexandria. He graduated from the Faculty of Arts, Department of English Language Literature, Alexandria University 2021. Mr. Ibrahim has several translations from and to Arabic language. He has translation and articles published in the Arab newspaper magazine and other foreign platforms. He worked as an expert reader for the U.S. National Translation Award in 2020. Hello, sir, and welcome to Nile Cruise.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, Omar, for being with us. And first of all, how do you view the role of translation in enhancing peaceful coexistence between cultures?
Simply because cultures cannot exist in isolation, and therefore translation plays an important role in filling in the gaps between cultures and enhancing the communication between different cultures.
What are the most category of readers are most attracted to translated books?
I would say all readers now tend to read translations from different languages, not only from English to Arabic, also from Spanish, Italian, and several languages, because readers are now aware of the role of translation.
Yes, Omar, you write in both languages, right? Arabic and English.
Exactly.
And you translate to and from Arabic and English.
That's
It's
right.
vice versa. It goes both ways. So tell us, why do you think that English literature has been the closest and most affecting foreign force on the local readers?
Because it has been translated into so many languages, almost every living language. That's why English literature has the most influence on all the literature that exists until today.
From your own point of view, who is the most Egyptian writer who had affected the Egyptian culture?
English writer?
In both.
Okay, for English writer, I would say George Orwell.
Yeah.
Because 1984, and Animal Farm, have been translated into, I think, more than 40 languages. And from those languages is Arabic, and it has been translated over and over again over the years. So I think he's the most celebrated writer.
And which book, from your own point of view, also?
Look, I would say Animal Farm, because of the many translations that have been published recently.
How about the same question, but vice versa? The Arabic writer that,
I would say Naguib Mahfouz.
Okay.
He's the father of the modern Arabic novel,
True.
And about the English book that translated from English to Arabic, or from Arabic to English, and it was a hit in this field.
Something that you translated personally.
I would say The Whisper in Darkness. It's a novella by Howard Phillips Lovecraft, published in 2020 by Darwin for publishing and distribution. It was a great hit, I think.
What was the main theme?
It was cosmic horror.
Okay. And Omar, how far did the English culture, in your view, influence our art on stage through small and big screens as well? I mean, theater, cinema, and TV.
I think for stage, I would say Shakespeare was, his drama, his plays in general was remade several times.
Yes.
And it has influenced our stage by far.
Sure.
And for the screens, we have some ideas that we are influenced by in our cinema, in our movies.
Especially in crime, maybe, or fiction.
Or exactly. Yeah. And I would say horror. Horror is.
This was my question. Why the younger generation are indulged mainly in the crime and horror novels?
I think simply because it's very entertaining, and because many horror movies have been made, by foreigners and so in Hollywood and things like that. So people enjoy seeing horror, and this led us to, translate more horror novels and novellas and short stories and so on.
Yeah, I don't know how you will answer this.
Okay.
So, do you think technology has affected translation? And if so, how?
Well, I would say it has affected, translation in both ways, in a positive way and a negative way, because some translators nowadays, use Google Translation in translating literary texts, which is a crime, I think.
Yeah,
And some other translators who study translation or English language and literature use technology and modern applications and so on to enhance their translations and help them in a way to produce a more cohesive text.
Do you believe the electronic books will one day replace the printed one?
Well, in the Middle East, I don't think so, because people tend to read books in paperback more than Kindle editions and PDFs and so on and so forth. So I don't think in the near future, PDFs and electronic formats in general will replace paperback. I don't think so.
Now, you only graduated last year, Omar, but
Yeah, exactly.
very quick achievements. We commend you on your efforts. My
Thank you.
question is this your first CIBF? And if not, how many times have you been here? And what have been your
I think I've been here 3 or 4 times.
Okay, with your work.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
What is new this year in the Cairo International Book Festival?
I have translated, part 1 of the trilogy entitled Shadow and Bone. It has been, and I published the first translation titled Shadow and Bone, and it's out now in KN Publishing and Distribution.
And Omar, how do you find this year's edition, the 53rd edition of the CIBF, different from the 52nd or 51st? The prior ones that you were here at?
I think the key answer is the organization. It's much better, and it gets better every year. I think the booths and the events and so on. It's more interesting than the other editions.
All right.
Okay, as a translator, do you believe that the younger generation are interested in the books that you translate?
I think teenagers and people above 20 years of age are interested in translation, and this hit me by surprise, because me and myself, I never really, before college, I never read a translated book. I always
It's a hard job, by the way.
yeah, it is a hard job, but I found it really interesting to read in the source language, and then when I went to college, I found it also very interesting and very informative to read translated work and see how a translator can go by some translations and can handle some problems and issues that we encounter as translators, and this helped me a lot.
Do you put your own input in this translated book, or you just translate it as is?
I cannot translate it literal, and I cannot manipulate the text in the same way, but I think I have some input to put in the text, because some parts, there are some issues that we encounter that we cannot, translate literally. So we have to somehow do a workaround, idioms and expressions and so on and so forth. We We do not translate idioms literally, for example. So we tend to put some, some effort in translating these issues.
Now, academically speaking, Omar, did you used to be, top of your class, get the highest grades?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did. Okay. Wonderful. So you just, what's happening is basically normal for you here, continuation of success.
Well,
I guess.
I've been working in translation since my second year in college, so it has been a long way until now.
When you translate a book, did you ever think of changing the idea or the theme of this book, and you put
Not
your
at all.
own idea,
Not at
or
all.
No, it's a code of ethics.
I cannot
yes.
do I cannot
Yes.
do
It's
that.
a code of ethics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, are you a member of your faculty at the Alexandria University? Do you teach there?
Not
Do you-
yet. Not yet.
Not yet. So
Yeah,
you're gonna join.
I'm still thinking about this because I know I have my military service and
Okay.
so on, but I'm going to do the MA soon, very
Alright.
soon.
Great.
okay,
Good luck, Omar.
as one of the younger generation, what is your idea to make, of course, the Cairo International Book Fair more and more interesting to the younger generation?
I would say I have to translate so many books and help other translators to publish. There are some translations that are not known until today, that have not been given a chance until today. So I think it's about time that we all group up and publish so many books as we can, so that we can help the younger generations to explore new themes and travel places with our books.
It's good that you're thinking of helping others who might not have had the chance so far. A writer and translator, Omar Ibrahim. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And now we're going to a quick break, so please stay tuned.